On this episode, how people actually buy. Hey everybody, this is the quarter show, and we're talking about how people actually buy. At least it is true for me. So I'm just going to run you through it. So when I'm buying something, it doesn't work this way. It doesn't work that I see a coupon or I see a discount code or something like this, and I go, oh, I have money to spend. I say, I'm going to get it cheaper, and I'm just going to, the money's burning a hole in my pocket. I'm just going to go buy something. It doesn't work that way. It works where there's a product I've been looking at. There's a service I've been looking at. There's something I'm relatively sold on that I want. It's a camera, it's a pair of boots, it's a jacket, right? There's something that I'm relatively sold on, already considering, nearly there. And then you see, oh, hey, they're doing 30%. Or, hey, I can get it for this price, or something like that. And then you take action, and it's the coupon or the discount or something sort of triggers the event. But all too often, I think, in sales, we lead with price. You lead with price, and then you're shocked when the deal kind of stalls out. You're shocked when they're out of communication, or they're not getting back to you, or it's moving slow and it's not coming together. And you start looking at this and you go, well, you shouldn't be shocked about that, because ultimately you have to make sure that you're solving a problem, or it's catering to a need or a want or a desire, motivation, some capacity, and they need to be sold on that. And that's your first mission. Focus on making sure when you go through your lineup and you look through everybody on there, are you solving a problem? Are they sold? Are you pushing the pain point of a need and want, and something that's very relevant to them, something that attains their goals, something that does something and moves the needle forward. Then pull in price. If you're in a position in your business and you can negotiate price, you can move the needle. By the way, sometimes you don't have to do anything, but if you are going to make a price play, make it after you make the sales play. Make it after they're sold, it solves a problem, it fits a need and want. That part is in, because if you just make the price play and you lead with price, you're going to have a lukewarm prospect. You're going to have a cycle that kind of drags on. It's not enough. People don't just take action for price. They don't just see, for me, I know, like every morning I get emails from God knows how many vendors, right? And it's like, you get an email from this retailer, you get Timberland, you get this and that, all these different things. And it's like every day there's an email that says 30, 40% off. But I'm not sitting here going, oh, buy, because it's not enough to move the needle. So, obsessively look at it from the standpoint of you as a buyer. How do you buy? Think about it for a second. The last couple things that you bought, when you look at the last couple things you bought, how do you buy? Was it that it led with price and you're just like, oh, it's cheaper, I'm going to go get, or I saw a discount for something, I'm going to go buy something? Or was it that you were looking at something, you were considering something, there was something that you were sold on, and then you could get a certain thing, and then it triggers that event, and you go do it now, right? Because I know I'm that way. When I look at stuff that I'm about to buy, I'm sold, and price comes in later. But a lot of people do it. Salespeople have that inverted view where it's like price, and they're sort of doing the sales part, or they're missing this part, and then it makes the whole thing very efforty, and it goes into this range of like molasses where it's not really moving. And then if you challenge the sales rep, or you challenge yourself, and you say, hey, what problem are you solving? Where's it at in the cycle, or whatever? And what's the need and want? What's the pain point? They don't know, and it's just leading with price.
Yeah, and this is an area where you can just sharpen up your game. You can sharpen up, because this is a one really important factor. This is a factor similar to, do you have the right decision maker? Do you have someone who can make a decision? There's a certain set of factors that you have to have, generally speaking, before you're going to make a sale, right? And this is one of them. This is one of those major points where, do you have the motivation? Do you have the reason that they're doing it? Which it's almost never going to be the price as a primary factor. It's one of those things that you can tip people over with. Mm-hmm. But if you and part of the reason we're doing this show is it's come up, and I had a recent this is something you might relate to, right? you have someone, they call you, maybe they're even a client, and they go, hey, we were thinking of a couple more of whatever blah. We were thinking of doing a little bit more of this. And you have a special going on, and you go, oh, yeah, great, here, I'm going to send you over a proposal. Super, you can just sign off and talk to you later, And then you follow up, and it doesn't sign, and doesn't sign, and doesn't sign. And in my case, this one particular deal, I didn't find out really why they were doing it, or what it was for, or why she's even asking right now, right? It was just sort of... And so it just dead-ended because that wasn't the motivation. It wasn't this nice little special that we, short-run special we had or something like that. So it is a major factor. So this is sort of a sharpen up your tools and pay attention to this in your sales process, along with things like the decision maker, timelines and deadlines on projects, things like that.
Yeah, it just goes back to like lead with product, lead with service or solution or whatever, and it's
you don't
always
exist to give discounts. You exist to solve a problem.
Right, and there's that old saying in sales, like everybody should know this anyway. It's like when value exceeds price, the transaction takes place, and I think that's always been true. It's probably always going to be true. It's value has to exceed price, and you don't want to lead with price because price is just not enough. If we're honest with ourselves, it's like everybody wants a good deal, but price alone is not enough to move the needle. It's not enough to close the deal, and so ensure going through your lineup, ensure that people are sold the same way you would need to be sold, and then factor in price. Don't lead with price because it creates a groggy sale. It creates it's sludgy. It's slow. It doesn't go, and if it's not going, it's because they're not sold. All right. Hope that helps. We're running out of battery time here. It's blinking and just stressing me out. So we're gonna end off here. Hope you like it, and we'll have more coming at you soon. Make sure to subscribe to the show, which I think
there,
right there.
Yeah.
All right, and then
Wait,
hit
a few more
like
points,
and make sure, by the way, share it with your sales team. Ben's got a couple points, but the battery's probably gonna go out.
Let's go. See you later.
Bye.
Okay.